What is appraisal gap? What does that even mean? Hi, my name is Nathan.Gahm with Nathan.Gahm Real Estate. I'm brokered through EXP Realty. I wanted to put out a series of videos explaining the hindrances and maybe the hurdles of getting an offer accepted. So whether you're a buyer that's already in the market, maybe you've put a few offers in, haven't had them accepted, you don't really know what the reasoning was. Maybe you are a buyer considering going into the market. Lastly, for agents, maybe sometimes you think you're doing the best thing for your client and you're putting offers in there, they're not being accepted, you're not really sure why, you don't really want to ask the other agents because you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing. Those are the real reasons why I wanted to put these videos out. Before we go on, I wanted to formally request that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this with all your friends that might be considering being in the market, or if they're an agent and they've been putting in offers and they just aren't getting them accepted. And if you're a buyer out there that doesn't have an agent, please get in touch with me. Even if you're not in my market, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, 614-406-8802, or you can reach me via email, which is nathan.gahm, GAHM, at exprealty.com. Why aren't offers being accepted in this market? And the first one that comes across is appraisal gap and appraisal gap coverage. When you finance a home, the bank does what's called an appraisal on the home that you're purchasing. You may be approved for $250,000, but let's say you bid on a home that was $225,000 list price. You bid $250,000 because that's what you could afford. When the bank goes to validate that loan, they're going to look to make sure that the home has the value for that loan. So they're not just giving money away without anything really to back it. With an offer at $250,000, it was listed at $225,000, and the appraisal company for the bank, they come in at $230,000. That $20,000 difference has to be covered for this deal to be good. That's called appraisal gap. There's a $20,000 gap. The bank is really only going to approve you on that home for $230,000. Where does that extra $20,000 go? If you haven't put what's called appraisal gap coverage in your offer for that type of scenario, there's a good chance that your offer might not get accepted because that $20,000 could be sitting there for someone to have to cover. If the buyer can't cover it and the seller doesn't want to cover it, then that deal is going to fall apart. If you didn't have that coverage in there and you can't, as a buyer, cover that difference, then the seller has to pay for that, meaning they have to drop from the $250,000 offer that you had given them and accept one at $230,000 to finalize a deal. That deal, when you look at different offers, isn't as strong as an offer at $250,000, even with $10,000 in appraisal gap coverage, because then the seller only has to come down to $240,000. There is a chance that they appraise it at $250,000. The appraisal gap coverage is not needed, and from that point, everything's all good. But in this market, the way that inventory is so low, people are bidding way over a list price, and it potentially pushes that home to a position where if they're financing a loan for that home, that the appraisal could be the make or break point of that loan process for the buyer to be able to complete the sale. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? What does that mean for you as an agent? As a buyer in this market, you're getting a loan to finance the purchase of the home. You almost always want to consider if you're going to need to put appraisal gap coverage into that offer. As an agent, if your clients are financed, you want to verify whether or not you're going to need to put appraisal gap coverage into your offers before you push them in. Today's market, where things are right now, where there's potential for bidding wars, these little things can make the difference between getting your bid accepted and completing the sale, which is the most important part for everyone. So it's not just getting your offer accepted, it's giving an offer that has a chance to actually close. That's what sellers are looking for. They want offers that will actually close for the offer price. That's what you're providing with certain appraisal gap coverages.